We need to know where we're going. We need to know whether we're on track. It's a little bit like going to an airport, just wandering through the place and then spending all your money in duty free, and just getting on the first plane you get to with no luggage whatsoever, arriving there and then having to deal with whatever the weather's like, whatever the conditions are, and realising actually you've got no money because you didn't plan anything ahead, and then doing the same thing the following day as well, and just repeat and repeat. Complete madness. Now we are going to craft your success blueprint. In other words, we're going to put together your vision and mission statement. Without one of these, you may well find that you become overwhelmed with business opportunities. I mean by that is that you could be drawn in any direction to shiny new things, which are basically they're off mission. So it starts drawing you off in all kinds of weird and wonderful directions. So what we really want here is a clear vision of the opportunity that you're actually pursuing. And then the mission itself will keep you on track to get to that point within your vision. Classic mistakes that are made here is obviously, number one, not having a vision mission statement, but it's also being reactive. Things are happening, go, oh right, okay, we'll go over here then, okay? Ends up with you being pulled off course. Not that you necessarily had a course to follow in the first place, which ultimately then means you're just going with the flow. You know, you're going wherever life takes you. Admittedly, there's a certain appeal to some of that in certain respects, but not when it comes to building a business. We need to know where we're going. We need to know whether we're on track, whether things are going the right way, or not, as the case may be, and therefore what we can do about it. It's a little bit like going to an airport, just wandering through the place and then spending all your money in duty free, and just getting on the first plane you get to with no luggage whatsoever, arriving there and then having to deal with whatever the weather's like, whatever the conditions are, and realising actually you've got no money because you didn't plan anything ahead, and then doing the same thing the following day as well, and just repeat and repeat. Complete madness. End up literally all over the place and not making any money, and just continuous and endless challenges with no real idea of where you're going. Yeah, so that clearly doesn't sound like a really good place to be, and so clearly we want to avoid that in our business as well. So as you remember from the previous session, we want to be getting from A to B. We have a vision of a vision of where we want to get to. And of course, we have our mission, which enables us to navigate through the challenges, the obstacles along the way without being sidetracked by something nice and shiny over here, nice and shiny over here. Keeps us on track. Sticking with the sat-nav analogy, it stops you from wandering off to, I don't know, somewhere completely different that seems quite interesting. You see a nice sign on the road sign along the way and go, oh, I think we'll go to the zoo today. It's like, no, we're going to destination B. Okay, so the sat-nav keeps you on track. So we're now going to move to the worksheet, and we're going to start to craft your vision and mission statement. So in order to craft our vision and mission statements, we need to start off by discovering your why. Okay, so yeah, why are you doing this? What impact do you want to make on your community or the world through your business, and why? So one of the hints here is to write down 3 key phrases or sentences that could form the basis of your why. Now this could be, now of course this is very personal to you, and it's whatever it is what's your motivator? What's the things that actually wind you up about potentially other heat pump companies? What are you doing that's better? Why are you doing that? Why is it important to you? What's more the kind of the long-term aspects? And it is specifically with the business in mind. So your why isn't necessarily about you making £1 million. That's, you know, if you're if you're just doing this for the money, it's not really going to work. The money has to be a byproduct of what you're doing and the reason why you're doing it. So what's the motivation there? So once you've got some motivation behind you, why are you doing what you're doing? We then want to start working on the how. So what are the unique processes? What's your expertise or perhaps your values that enable you to achieve your why? Like I say, if for example part of your why is that you're annoyed with the way that other companies operate, what do you do differently? How do you do it differently? What are those aspects that's going to get you to that destination that you have to do? So consider your guiding principles, your values, the methods that set you apart from the other companies that are out there. And then finally, within this section, we want to clarify your what. So what specific products and services do you offer to fulfill your why? So the answer isn't just heat pumps. The answer, again, look towards the hint at the bottom of the page there. Is what you supply high quality, or is it cheap and cheerful? Doesn't matter which, it's down to your why. Your why will dictate whether what you do is high quality or whether it's cheap and cheerful. Are you a specialist or a generalist? Again, through your how. Now, how do you do what you do? Is it because you're a specialist or a generalist? Do you do pool heating, for example, or do you not do it? So once again, we're niching down, we're being specialists here. Do you offer low temperature heating solutions, high temperature heating solutions, hybrid, bivalent, cascades? Don't do cascades, do cascades, all of these types of things. Do you deal with microbore? Have you got a microbore solution? Is that your unique value proposition, that you're the leading expert in dealing with microbore solutions? Or do you hate it? Clarify your what. Are you a low cost and fast installer, or are you do some things that attract premium pricing and it takes as long as it takes to do it properly, and so on? Okay, so have a real good think about those aspects there. So define your why. What's the driving force behind you? Define your how. What it is specifically you do that sets you apart, and then onto your what. As in, what products and services do you offer to fulfill your why? So take some time over that and say it's all about letting the thoughts come out so that we can start putting things together. When you move on to the next page, this is where we're going to start creating the vision statement. And so the vision statement, as it says here, it's a long-term goal that encapsulates your why and paints a picture of the impact you want to make, and that's really important. So the actual vision statement is quite it's a paragraph. So it's not a sentence, it's a paragraph. It will be made up of a number of sentences. For example, when we come on to mission, that ideally that wants to be a sentence, but your vision is painting that picture. It's the long-term view. It's where the emotions can come out, where the drivers can be, because this is something that's going to keep you going for potentially years. Okay. So we talked about getting A to B. This is that vision of where you're going to go to and why you're going to go there. So to do this, you might find it useful to combine your answers from part 1 on the previous page and part 3. Okay, put those two together and to help create your vision of the future. Once we've done that, move on to the mission statement. So the mission statement is the practical roadmap that includes your how and your what. It's what you're going to do every day to work towards achieving your mission. Much more to the point. I'm going to do this by this. Consider the answers that from the previous sheet on parts 2 and 3, and from that you can compose your mission statement. So at this stage, don't worry about it being absolutely perfect and fine and finished. We're just beginning to put it together. Okay, we can then refine it over time, keep working on it. But the first thing is we need to get this vision nailed down. Where do we want to get to? A to B, what does it look like? And then start, how are you going to do it with the mission element? Now finally, once you get to a final version, we want to get your vision and mission statements in a place where all your team will see them daily. Because don't forget, this is the sat nav, isn't it? Yeah, this is keeping them on the straight and narrow. It's giving them that direction. So clearly they need to be able to see these things. And so potentially if something presents itself, an opportunity, an inquiry, whatever it might be, we can revert back. Is that in alignment with our vision and mission? Yeah. If you don't do swimming pools, yeah, and somebody rings up asking if you could do swimming pools, or somebody wants to sell you a container load of swimming pool heat pumps, yeah, and you go, oh, maybe it's coming up to summertime, you know, it might be a great opportunity there. No, revert back to your vision and mission. Yeah, if there's no mention of heating swimming pools, put the phone down to the person selling your swimming pool heat pumps. Make sense? So hence, yeah, get these on display. It's a very easy example of that, but there'll be plenty of other times where consulting your vision and mission will keep you on that straight and narrow. Once again, this, if it's going up on the wall, it's something to be proud of. So perhaps get the same graphic designer that did your core values, yeah, get them to do your vision and mission poster as well, so it's in alignment, yeah, so you haven't got odd looking things, so that they are all congruent in the way that they appear. You can see that it's all one. Now imagine all of that coming together. Yeah, you've got your business core values, you've got your vision of what the future looks like and where you're going, and your mission statement of how you're going to do it. If that doesn't keep you on the straight and narrow, I don't know what will. Okay, so put the effort in and you will definitely get the rewards out of this. So now we've gone through the worksheet, I need you to remember that without this clear vision, you're just going to drift along, you know, without knowing where you're going, you're just going to drift along wherever the current takes you. Yeah, so with the mission side of things, it's going to keep you on track and get you to your destination. So what I need you to do once you've completed the worksheet is to write up your vision and mission. Get it displayed on the wall, yeah, alongside your core values. This is something that you need to be looking at on a daily basis. Your entire team needs to be looking at it to remember, yeah, to keep you on track, to remember where you're heading, what the final destination is. Okay, so that's why we want to have them up on the wall. Be proud of them as well. Yeah, show them off to people. Put them on the website. Yeah, let's get our customers knowing and understanding, and more to the point, buying into what our vision is. Yeah, and helping us along the way. And now we've got all this. This is all quite theoretical. You know, we've got in our mind where we want to go. Even though it's up on the wall, it's still quite theoretical. So the next step we're going to move on to is the actual strategy of what you're going to be doing. Now this is turning these vision into action. Okay, so that's the next section. I'll see you there.